Hey guys, how's it going? So in today's video, I'm hiking in the Little Sock area, and there's three main reasons why I'm out today. First and foremost, fall has begun in Pennsylvania. Oh, I'm excited. Second of all, you guys know how much I like waterfalls. There's a waterfall downstream that I haven't been. Well, I've been there, but it's been, I don't know, probably 10 years. Maybe more, who knows. So I'd love to get down there and photograph. And the third reason, I got a new toy. Check this out. And my new toy is the Tamron 70-180. So I just got this lens a couple weeks ago, and I've been messing around with it at home, but I really wanted to get it out and get some landscape photos with it. And I didn't record it, but there's an overlook that you can drive up to, and there was a nice cloud inversion up there. I ran up there, I took some pictures with this. I apologize I didn't take any video, but right here's the photo. I'm already pretty impressed with this lens from what I've used of it at home, you know, shooting the kids running around and the puppy and, you know, things like that. But yeah, so I just wanted to get out today and enjoy nature and play with some new gear. Let's go. Man, the water level is extremely low. Of course, we haven't had water in a while, but I was hoping for a little bit more. But what I'm really hoping for, since I have that 70-180 with me here today, I'm gonna fall while I'm walking here. I'm really hoping to find a tree that's changing, that's just isolated in the forest or next to a waterfall, so I can isolate just that one tree that's changing. I've been after that photo for years, and I just haven't found the right moment, the right subject. Maybe today's the day, I don't know. It'd be nice to see some color around the waterfall too, though. We'll see. Just out here enjoying nature. So I found my first composition, and I got exactly what I wanted. I found a nice tree. I don't know if you can see it behind me, but I found a nice tree that's just starting to transition into fall color, and it looks gorgeous. Its greens transitioning into yellow and oranges, and it just looks awesome. You can see behind me there's two trees on either side of the trail, and I'm using those trees to frame my tree. Now my first instinct was to shoot a vertical here, but when I set the camera up for a vertical composition, it didn't feel right. The two framing trees that I'm using seem to be too close to my fall color tree. So I decided to go for a horizontal to show a little bit more of the scene, so you get a sense of the environment and where you are. This turned out to be a great day. Oh, and a pro tip: use a circular polarizer during fall. It makes those fall colors just pop. And a lot of times the leaves are sometimes they're wet in the morning, or they have a little bit of oil on them. So a circular polarizer will knock out all the reflections, and you'll get much more detail in your photos. Here's the photo. I'm really getting the sense that this waterfall is going to be nothing but a trickle. We haven't had rain in for so long that I don't think there's going to be much there, but we're still going to walk down and take a look at it. That last photo with the tree, I can't wait to get that on the computer. It's going to look nice. Of course, you guys have already seen it, but I think that's going to be a good one. Such a nice day out. Glad it came out. Okay, I think it's time for a break. while we take a break, I figured I'd talk a little bit about why I decided to buy the Tamron 70 to 180 instead of any of the competitors. Obviously the G Master or anything like that. And the appeal to me with the Sony system was always that it's lightweight and compact. I do a lot more hiking, and I don't want to carry heavy camera equipment. So that's the reason why I switched to the Sony system. But ever since then, I've been looking for the right equipment to put in my bag. I have an older Tamron 70 to 200, and that thing is a brick. It's heavy. I only carry it with me if I absolutely know that I'm going to use it. And the G Master isn't any lighter or smaller, so it was kind of defeating the purpose of, lightweight and compact with the Sony. But it's raining leaves. That's cool. When Tamron announced their 70 to 180, and I saw the weight of it, which is a lot of the reason why I got it, is the weight. This thing comes in at under 2 pounds. That's almost half as much as the competitors, and to me it's feather light. And for what I do, I need something that's light. And for the price, this comes in at $1,199 US dollars. I believe that's what it is. If that's wrong, right here. For the price, it's not only half the weight of a G Master, but it's like half the price. You can't go wrong. With it being a cheaper lens, obviously the build quality will suffer a little bit. I can tell you that the lens is very plasticky, and it doesn't feel like a cheap plastic. But they had to cut some corners to make it lighter. Honestly, that's not a big deal to me because I take care of my equipment. Watch me drop it today. But I take care of my equipment. So I'm not too concerned with it. It's weather sealed. There's a gasket. It's weather sealed, so if I get rained on, not a problem, not a worry. There are no buttons on the side of this lens. There's no manual focus. There's no image stabilization. Well, there's no image stabilization in the lens itself. That's all in body. As far as there not being a manual switch on the side of it, I like having it there, but honestly, in the couple weeks that I've had this lens, it doesn't bother me. If you need to switch into manual focusing, you just do it on the back of the camera. It's not that big of a deal. Doesn't really bother me too much. The other thing that I thought would bother me about this lens is it only goes to 180, and every other lens on the market goes to 200, and every other lens on the market goes to 200, and I really thought that was gonna bug my OCD, and it was a little bit of a deterrent at first. But once I got the lens in my hand and started messing with it and putting it side by side with my other lens, the difference of 20 millimeters is literally a step forward. It's not that big of a deal. I shoot weddings on occasion. I doubt I'm gonna notice the reach difference. I'll just take an extra step forward if I have to, or God forbid, crop a little bit. I know, crop. Other than that, the portability, it being light, the images that I've taken with it so far look sharp. They look perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I can't think of any reason personally for me to invest in the G Master. Now there's going to be differences. If you're a wedding photographer and you shoot every weekend religiously and everything, I would get the G Master. That thing is a workhorse, and it would hold up a lot better to the abuse of being used every weekend during weddings. But for what I do, hiking, this is the lens for me. Also worth noting, this lens is a 2.8 throughout the focal range, which is real nice, and it also the barrel also extends as you zoom, which that's not that big of a deal. You'll also notice, this is another big thing that I wasn't sure if I was going to like it or not. If you notice, it does not have a tripod collar, and there isn't one that goes with it. I wasn't sure how I would feel about that, when I purchased the lens, but having it in my hand and putting it on the tripod and everything, you don't need one. You really don't. This lens is light enough that it's not front heavy enough that it feels like it's going to tip the tripod over or anything, or even just shooting portraits. This lens is not very, it doesn't feel very front heavy when you're holding it. So that's my opinion for what it's worth. Okay, well, I think break time's about over. I do recall this area. I was here with Corey years and years ago, and I do recognize this campsite that I'm sitting at. So I believe that I'm almost to the waterfall. All right, let's head down to that waterfall. I forgot to mention in my my little Tamron infomercial that the lens does have a lock on it. So that's nice. So the barrel doesn't drift when you're carrying it around. Thought you should know. Well, I found myself another nice composition. There's some nice yellow and orange leaves up in the canopy, and it looks really cool. And in the canopy you can see a bunch of limbs just crossing over each other, coming in and out of the frame, and it looks, I don't know what it is about it. It's just it's like kind of controlled chaos, I guess. I might not like it as much when I get on the computer, but right now I'm really liking the scene. Check out the photo. I just seen a coyote. That was crazy. I had my camera in my hands and everything. I was framing up what I thought was going to be my next composition, but it just wasn't working. And I seen something move in the frame. I'm like, what in the world is that? I put the camera down to look to see what it was, and it was a coyote. And it took off up the hill, and I didn't get a chance to take a picture of it, but never seen that before. Not on the trail anyway. We made it to Rhodes Falls. I had to stop recording for a little while there because the trail got real narrow, and there seems to be a lot of trail runners on this trail. I don't remember that, but here we are. But here we are. It's just as beautiful as I remember from before. I definitely see some promise here. I'm going to stop and have some lunch first, and then I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do. There's some nice yellow leaves down in the pool right behind me. I think I might incorporate them in my photo. Yeah. Okay, so I managed to find a composition, and the best one I did find was using these leaves that I found right here in the pool of the water as my foreground interest, and it looks really nice. I haven't been able to decide if I like the horizontal or the vertical composition. Let me know what you think down in the comments, but pretty straightforward. Circular polarizer to knock out the glare. Half a second shutter speed. Bam. This is a nice waterfall. Check out the photo. Whew. How about that waterfall? Sorry I didn't really record too much of the hike between the campsite where I was talking about the lens and where the falls were. Right after there, I forgot about this part. The trail really started getting narrow and started to get pretty technical. And with all these racers around, it's kind of hard for me to get out of the way pretty quick. That, and I needed to get my trekking poles out because, again, there was uphill and rocks and all kinds of nonsense. So I had to put the camera away. But I did find out that they're having a race. That's why there's so many trail runners. And they keep sneaking up on me. But yeah, so at the moment, we're just kind of heading back upstream, take another look at any of those waterfalls that we went past and see what we see. It's pretty neat to stop and take a look at a composition that I shot earlier. The scene has changed so much just from this morning, and obviously it's because the sun's in a different location, but I'm not sure if I'd shoot it now. I really liked the way it looked earlier. I don't know. Something that I forgot to mention earlier, and I didn't get the chance to shoot anything. I didn't really see any subjects to try it out on, but the minimum focusing distance on this lens is under 11 inches, which is outstanding. My Tamron 70-200, that thing's like 4 feet away. That minimum focusing distance will really come in handy for the right type of subjects. Unfortunately, I didn't find them today. All right, guys, let me give you some final thoughts on what I think about the Tamron 70-180. Honestly, if you're like me and you were adapting Canon lenses or Nikon lenses to the Sony, and you're on a budget and you need something light, this is a no-brainer. This lens is fantastic. I'm definitely going to get a lot of good use out of this, and those are my thoughts. Alright guys, this is where I'm going to leave it. If you have any comments or questions about the Tamron 70-180, feel free to leave it in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you aren't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Later.